Well, hello, folks. We are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the capital of Louisiana. And that's fitting because we're about to go see the old Capitol building, which actually predates the Civil War. Now, this is a beautiful Gothic revival. It was seen as a castle by the river, and that's truly what it was. Now, it was burned during the Civil War. There were changes made to it in the 1850s, the 1880s, and in the 1930s, it ceased to be the state capitol building with the building of the new one under then-Governor Huey P. Long. The Iron Gate was installed in the 1850s, and it was restored in 2004 by then-Governor Bobby Jindal. The old state capitol building was opened up as a museum in 1994, and it's always free to see. I love that. It's always open to the public. It's their house here in Louisiana, and they should have an opportunity to see it. Now, everywhere you look around the grounds, you see history, and the Merci train is no exception. A gift from the French people. In 1947, America would send 100 boxcars of relief supplies and gifts to the French people. And in 1949, they returned the favor by sending 49 boxcars full of gifts and thanks from over 6 million French citizens, all adorned with the coat of arms of France and the well wishes and love from its people. And one thing I truly love about Baton Rouge, New Orleans, you see this just mix of cultures. Baton Rouge itself means red stick in Native American, and you've seen forces occupy Baton Rouge from Native Americans, Spanish, English, and then later, of course, American forces. And this dome that you see on the right next to the bridge is the Science and Technology Center, and we'll definitely have to go do a video on that in the future. Now, these lions that guard the front, they are not original to Baton Rouge. They actually started their life out in New Orleans, where they guarded the St. Louis Hotel. The St. Louis Hotel, which was the state capital of Louisiana for a time. And when it came back to Baton Rouge, the state capital, the lions came with it. Now, this grave and monument is to Henry Watkins Allen. Now, Henry Watkins Allen was the 17th governor of Louisiana. He would govern from Shreveport. This was during the Civil War. That was the Confederate portion of Louisiana. Henry Watkins Allen was a lawyer. He served in the legislature in both Mississippi and Louisiana. He briefly was in the Texas Army, in the Texas Republic. When he could no longer serve in a military function, he was made a military judge and then later governor. Now, he was a very successful governor of Louisiana. He had trade going on with Mexico. Things were going so well for the Confederate-controlled side of Louisiana that when Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox, there was a serious thought to continuing on the war. That, thankfully, did not happen. Could do a whole video on Governor Allen easily. He was actually buried 3 different times. He was buried in Mexico City, where he died in 1866 after never really fully recovering from his war wounds. He briefly edited an English language newspaper there. He was then moved to New Orleans and then later here in Baton Rouge. Now, before leaving for Mexico City, he was viewed as an outlaw by Union forces. He told the public to submit to whatever rule was coming and that it was time for the country to eventually come back together. The museum is now open, so it's time to go in. So much history happened here. Really looking forward to seeing it. In addition to just seeing the museum itself, which we're really excited about, there's something really cool going on right now, too. One of the copies of the Louisiana Purchase, the French copy, is here on display. Now, the American copies of the Louisiana Purchase are in the National Archives. You can only see them through scans. But the physical copy with the signature of Napoleon is going to be here. Now, unfortunately, we can't film it. No filming, no photographs, but everything else in the museum we can show you, and we'll be doing that. Now, this German clock is from the early 1700s and operated for 300 continuous years until Hurricane Katrina. It used to sit in the old Charity Hospital and is very representative of the style that was in the original courthouse before the fire during the Civil War. And here would have been the original governor's office. And now we're going to go up and see this amazing stained glass. Jean-Baptiste Bienville is one of those figures that you will see his name everywhere to this very day. An early colonial governor of New France. He was considered the father of Louisiana, the father of Mobile, very important to the Floridas. His brother was d'Iberville, the Spanish explorer, and Bienville was born in modern-day Montreal. We're now in the governor's office within the state capitol, and many governors would use this office, but probably the one that springs to mind for most people is the last one to use it, Huey P. Long. Huey P. Long was impeached in this very building, and he would be assassinated in the current state capitol, the bullet holes which can still be seen. Now, for those of you not familiar with Huey P. Long, he and his family would rule Louisiana politics for some 2 decades. Now, Huey Long was remembered as being a man of the people. He modernized bridges. He modernized health care. But he was also willing to do anything it took to achieve what he wanted by any means necessary. He was a politician that was both revered and feared. And in fact, Franklin Roosevelt said he was the most dangerous man in America. That safe belonged to Huey P. Long's brother Earl, who himself was governor of Louisiana on 3 different occasions. This is a plaster sculpture of Huey P. Long. The actual statue is at the new Capitol building. He was nicknamed the Kingfish, and he was immortalized in Hollywood by Sean Penn in the movie All the King's Men, which actually was not a hit. It was not well received. And Huey P. Long planned to be president. You see the book here, My First Days in the White House. It was rumored that conspiracy led to his murder, and in fact, this is the very murder weapon itself. And the bullets that were fired from that gun are here in the museum too. But he definitely planned to be president, but was cut down in 1932. Now, the assassin, Dr. Carl Weiss, was killed instantly after shooting Huey Long at close range. Huey P. Long would die 2 days later. Now, Dr. Carl Weiss, why did he kill him? He was the son-in-law of Huey Long's political opponent, Judge Pavey. And Judge Pavey had been gerrymandered by Huey P. Long. It was essentially going to possibly end his political service. Thus the reason, at least the reason we're given for the assassination. See a section here on voting and some of those early voting booths and what they looked like. And now this is as close as we're going to be able to get to the Louisiana Purchase document. There's actually a guard inside of there that keeps you from filming and taking pictures, although he never looked up. He stared at his phone the entire time. I talked about this in a previous video where we were at the Battle of Chalmette, but the Louisiana Purchase so changed America, doubled its size, 4 cents an acre, $15 million to the French government. At the time, France had designs on a sugar monopoly here within the South. But when France lost Haiti to a slave uprising, they sent troops to quell it. That ended badly for them. Napoleon had no desire to keep French troops in the area and just wanted to be rid of it and sold it to the Americans, and the rest is history. We saw the bust of Zachary Taylor, who would go on to be president. Of course, Zachary Taylor, old rough and ready, had a very brief time as the president of the United States. He would move his family to Baton Rouge in the 1820s. Did not capture this on camera. I saw it. Lori, I think, believes me. This silhouette moves because it moved when I was staring at it. Now, you're not going to see it here. But a statue of George Washington was here. But during the Civil War, when the state capitol was burned, this statue was melted. But that is where it used to reside. Baton Rouge is often overlooked because of New Orleans, of course, and it's tough to really carve out your own identity as a big city here in Louisiana. But Baton Rouge is full of so much history. Of course, it's the home to LSU, Louisiana State University. It's a metropolitan city. Gets a bad rap. We loved it. We absolutely can't wait to come back. This is the current state capitol. We didn't visit this time because it's going through renovation and you can't go all the way up to the top as you normally could, but we will come back and do that for sure. This is a decanter showing the Freedom Train. Of course, we talked about the Melcy train outside where each one of those cars were sent to a state, and that was the one sent to Louisiana. Much of the original furniture, as you might expect in the old Capitol building, burned, but there are certain pieces that still remain, and then a lot of the furniture that you see in it to this day has been there at least since the early 1930s. And this is Leon Jastrzębski, which was a French-born Confederate Army officer, but later mayor of Baton Rouge for 3 different terms. This is his pocket watch. It was presented to him by the people of Baton Rouge. He was greatly loved. He ran for governor of Louisiana and was unsuccessful, was going to run again in 1908, but passed away before he could do that. And he was largely responsible for bringing the capital of Louisiana back to Baton Rouge from New Orleans, where it had went to after the Civil War. Mentioned this earlier, and this is a good illustration of all the detailed notes that were kept by the architects on just how they built this magnificent courthouse. Every single item used, every thought process that went in. So every subsequent renovation has been so much easier by having these detailed notes. There will be some additional footage that goes out in shorts that's not included in this video today. There is a whole wing on Reconstruction, which we'll talk about in a short. Now, this is the beautiful Senate chambers. The Louisiana State Senate met here. Love this stained glass. Pretty awe-inspiring sitting here again, knowing the history that took place in this building. Senate chambers, there were crafts going on for kids. That to me is so cool. You see this magnificent place and the people of Baton Rouge, visitors in here coloring, and just kind of cool. Now, out here in the hall, you see a portrait of every single governor of Louisiana, all the way back to when it was a French territory. And again, to look up at this, just pretty amazing. Another exhibit here on the upper floor is one on Japanese war brides. It talks about the Japanese struggle after World War II, many women entering the workforce for the first time to help support their family, many Japanese women meeting American servicemen, falling in love, and getting married. Love these dresses. I had a friend who, growing up, she went to Japan as part of an exchange program, was there at least a month, possibly more, but she loved it. It was the time of her life. She stayed in contact with the family. They treated her so well.
For him and for her, him kind of just doing as he pleased in the beginning builds resentment.
And we were in the Senate chambers earlier. This is the House chambers. Now, right here is where the state of Louisiana made the decision to secede from the Union. Took place right here. I can't imagine what those discussions would have been like. January the 26th, 1861, Louisiana became the sixth state to decide to leave the Union. It was a vote of 113 to 17. And the legislature made the decision not to put it to a popular vote because a delegate vote earlier had been very close. 20,000 for secession, 17,000 against. So there was a good chance the popular vote would have been just as close, if not maybe broke a way they didn't want it to. Folks, thanks so much for joining us today. Me and Lori have had an opportunity to see a lot of history in our time together as a married couple. This one, for some reason, the old state capital here in Louisiana in Baton Rouge just really resonated with me. I loved this place and can't wait to come back. And I hope some of that was conveyed to you. I hope I shared some excitement of this visit here because it was so much fun. Thanks, as always, for supporting our channel. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch this with me and spend some time getting to see Baton Rouge.